Hey, Alabama football fans. Harrison Graham here from Chat Sports, talking about the latest in the recruiting world for Alabama football. Big start to the 2019 season, but we're looking ahead to the future. And in this case, let's look ahead 2 seasons from now. Alabama has made an offer for a 2021 5-star running back. His name is Will Shipley. Received the offer just on Sunday. And it's going to be hard to get this guy because he has 25 scholarship offers already, guys. Clemson, Ohio State, Georgia, all the big programs, we'll get a list here in a second for you guys, have made an offer for this kid. Runs in the mid 4.4s, has a 38-inch vertical. His shuttle cone is below 4.2. He is really, really fast and athletic. He officially visited Clemson on September 7th. For that Texas A&M game in which they won. Clemson is kind of reported as the front runner right now for Shipley's services, but Alabama has made an official offer, joining several other schools who have offered Will Shipley. Here's his high school football's Twitter account tweeting out the news that he gets the offer. Happy to announce that Will Shipley has received an offer from the University of Alabama, #Roll Tide. So again, the Crimson Tide have offered 2021 5-star running back Will Shipley. Let's take a look at what he did last year as a sophomore. Again, this is just as a sophomore running back. 206 carries, over 1,400 yards, average 7 yards per carry on the ground. 19 touchdowns. Also had 6 receiving touchdowns as well. So dynamic running back. Usually Alabama gets bigger backs than Shipley. He's 5'11", about 200 pounds. Obviously, he can grow into that frame a little bit, but they have made an offer for Will Shipley. Here's some other notable offers that he has. Clemson, again, they're the front runner right now for Will Shipley. The Florida Gators have offered. Georgia, Notre Dame, Ohio State. This is 5 of 25 offers he has received, and he has just started his junior season. I bet he gets over 40 offers when it's all said and done. So Will Shipley, Alabama, trying to get into the mix for the 2021 5-star running back. And speaking of 2021, Alabama's down at number 14 in the 2021 recruiting class because they only have 2 hard commits right now. This is the top 10 right now. You got the Miami Hurricanes, Texas Longhorns coming in at number 2. Ohio State is sitting there at number 3 as Ryan Day's trying to get things going post-Urban Meyer. Notre Dame under Brian Kelly, they are at number 4. And then the Florida Gators come in at number 5. Auburn, number 6. Wisconsin's number 7. I mentioned Clemson. They're coming in at number 8 right now. They're sitting number 1 in the 2020 class. We'll get to that in a little bit. USC at number 9. And Minnesota, how about PJ Fleck? They're coming in at number 10 right now in the 2021 recruiting class rankings. Right now, it's early in the process. Again, I mentioned Alabama only has 2 hard commits right now, several offers right there, some guys who are expected to commit soon, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. We know Nick Saban and his crew, they get elite talent. Let me ask you something about this year. Will Alabama win the national title this season? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Obviously, they're looking for redemption after last year's blowout loss to Clemson in the national championship game. That game was 44-16. They're looking to take it back this year. So type Y for yes, type N for no. Let me know in the comments section. Okay, more recruiting rumors for Alabama right now. Is Timothy Smith looking around at other schools? The 4-star defensive lineman had an interesting quote the other day. He said he's keeping his recruiting open. He's hard committed, and I put that in air quotes because he hard committed in July, but then he throws out interesting quotes over the weekend. And here's the thing. The plan was to always utilize his official visits despite committing in July. And we'll take it a timeline in here in just a second, but let's take a look at this quote he had first. This is interesting. Quote, "I'm still keeping my recruitment open, so whoever is still recruiting me, I'm going to rock with them. Right now, it was just a verbal commitment, letting people know who I had in the first place." So he's not saying it's a hard commitment. He's saying he's verbally committed to Alabama. It's not a big deal. Hasn't made a final decision yet. That's what that quote tells me right there. So let's take a look at the timeline, and this goes back to last year. April 21st of 2018, takes an unofficial visit to Alabama and receives an offer in the same day. May 17th, 2018, and Florida's the school to keep an eye on here because he plays high school ball in the state of Florida. Florida makes an offer for him on May 17th of last year. September 1st of last year, takes an unofficial visit to Alabama. Then he takes his first unofficial visit to Florida on October 6th. So he's got an offer from Florida, and he's taking an official visit. Okay, we fast forward here to 2019. May 18th, takes another unofficial visit to Florida, his second one already. Then in July, just a couple of months ago, he commits to Alabama, but then less than 10 days later, he goes to the Florida camp and works out for the coaches. And then on September 7th, just the last 10 days or so, takes his third unofficial visit to Florida. Could he be having second thoughts here? Could the Florida Gators be getting in on Timothy Smith? Obviously, Dan Mullen has been keeping his eye on this kid. We will see how it plays out, but for now, he is committed to Alabama. But his quotes, this timeline, it seems very, very interesting to me. We will see where Timothy Smith ultimately decides to play his college football. Okay, guys, I've been telling you about the My TV Choice app. I was watching Monday Night Football last night, Jets and the Browns. Not the most exciting game, but when it went to commercials, I didn't have to watch stupid Allstate commercials or that gecko running around for Geico. That's so 2008. Here's what you do. Here's what the app is. You download it for free at chatsports.com/mytv. They're going to replace commercials forever. When the game goes to break, you're going to get sports content from us at Chat Sports and other outlets. My TV Choice app takes over when these games go to break. Several games will be on the docket for this weekend as well for My TV Choice. You can check them out on their website, mytvchoice.com. They'll post the schedule of which games they'll be replacing commercials. Check them out. Download the app today for free. Chatsports.com/mytv is the place to get the My TV Choice app. Okay, can Alabama, are they going to flip this four-star quarterback, Bryce Young? I think it's possible. Look, there's a lot of chatter around this kid right now. He's committed to USC, but let's be honest. There is a lot of uncertainty around Clay Helton's future. They just lost to BYU over the weekend in overtime. Bad loss for them. You thought the hot seat was cooling off a bit after a couple of nice wins to start the season. That changes quickly after a loss to BYU. There's already been a lot of chatter around Young and Alabama over the past several months. I think there's reason for optimism here that Alabama could flip Young for a couple of reasons. They don't have a quarterback in their 2020 class. Their depth chart is fairly thin. Let's look at what this kid did last year. Almost 4,000 yards, almost 70% completion, 39 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. He's a good runner. Ran for more, I think 5 more touchdowns as well. I think Alabama will be a great fit for him, especially now that they're letting their quarterback cut it loose. That wasn't the case 3, 4, 5 years ago, but now with Tua, you're seeing what they're doing. So I think he should consider it. This is what they've got under scholarship next year. Mac Jones, the junior, you see him come in when games are out of reach. He'll be a junior next year. That's what these classifications are. Tua's brother, Talia Tagovailoa, he'll be a sophomore next year. I don't think he's the prospect Tua was, so I think he could come in here and compete with him. And then Paul Tyson, a 4-star recruit from last year. I'm listing him as a freshman because I think he will redshirt this year. I don't expect him to play at all this season. But Bryce Young, come to Alabama and compete with Mac Jones and Talia Tagovailoa. USC's got JT Daniels. They got the Slovis kid playing this year pretty well. I think Alabama, as shocking as it sounds, might be a better spot, especially with Tua expected to enter the 2020 NFL Draft. Guys, do you love college football? It's my favorite sport. I'm trying to find people who love college football as much as I do. If you do, subscribe to us here on Chat Sports. We're trying to increase our college football coverage here on youtube.com/chatsportstv. Hit that big red button. If you love college football, let me know who your favorite team is in the comment section. But most of all, make sure you subscribe. We'll keep these videos going throughout the 2019 season. Okay, more recruiting rumors for you guys. Current commit Jacquez Robinson, the 4-star cornerback, he did make an official visit to Oklahoma last weekend. Is the reason for worry? I don't think so. The chatter is that this is still a firm commitment here. He's expected to be an early enrollee. He's been committed to Alabama since February. I think this is just a formality. He's doing his due diligence, checking Oklahoma's programs out. And you guys got to realize this too. These are pretty cushy trips for these kids, so why wouldn't you take more trips to these schools? They hook you up, they take you out and all that stuff after the games. It's a pretty fun time, so I think he's just going through the motions of doing his due diligence, double-checking everything, making sure Bama's the place for him. I think it is. I wouldn't be too concerned about Jacquez Robinson. I think he's firmly in this 2020 Alabama recruiting class. Speaking of the 2020 class, can Alabama catch Clemson for the #1 class in the country? Look, 24/7 Sports does its point system, and Clemson's got a fairly sizable lead, over 11 points higher than Alabama. And the big reason why, because the commitments, you're like, oh, they got 2 less than Alabama. But look at the 5-stars, guys. They've got 6 5-stars. Alabama's got 2. And one of those 6 5-stars that Clemson has is that quarterback, and I'm going to get this name wrong because I don't know how to pronounce this kid's name. DJ Uiagalelei, I think is how you say it. Producer Alicia, Clemson? No, she's saying no. She's the Clemson grad here at Chat Sports. I know he's going to be a beast. That's why I don't think Alabama's going to be able to catch them. I think they will have the number 2 class, but Alabama's trying to close in there. They've got more 4-stars, same amount of 3-stars, but 4 less 5-stars, and that is why they are sitting at number 2 in the 2020 recruiting class. But I'll ask you guys, can Alabama make a late push and catch number 1 Clemson in terms of recruiting? Type A for Alabama, type C for Clemson for who you think will have the top recruiting class in 2020. I know we're doing an Alabama video here. I think Clemson is going to be able to hold them off. Too many 5-stars. Dabo Swinney is figuring things out up there at Clemson. Shouldn't say figuring. He's got things figured out up there. He's doing a heck of a job. Nick Saban and the boys are doing a great job in Tuscaloosa as well. Just think Clemson will have the top class this year. Okay, a couple more items for you guys here. 4-star safety Antonio Johnson, who Alabama's interested in, has offered. He will announce his decision this week. He tweeted out that he will commit on September 21st. Last year, he had 81 tackles and 5 interceptions as a junior. He only played in a couple of games this year. Not a lot of statistical information out there on this kid for his senior season, but one of the top safeties in the 2020 class. Looks like Texas A&M is the favorite to land him. That's all the chatter right now that I'm reading out there on this kid. I expect him to commit to Texas A&M, but Bama's holding out hope that they can get him. He will announce his commitment on September 21st. Either way, Alabama will know if they get Antonio Johnson or not. Here are the finalists for Johnson. 6 schools he's deciding between. Texas A&M, Alabama, I do think those are the top 2. Georgia sitting there as well. These 3 I think are a distant 4 through 6. Tennessee, that's been a disastrous start to their season so far this year. Illinois is only on here because he's from Illinois. That's his state school. That's a courteous thing for him. He will not go play for Lovie Smith. And then the Missouri Tigers as well, SEC school, but lower tier. I think it'll be Bama or Texas A&M. I think it's going to be Texas A&M, but maybe Bama flips him at the last second. All right, guys, we do a lot of prediction stuff here at Chat Sports. Alabama, Southern Miss, Bama's going to be heavy favorites. Haven't seen the early line. It should be 30+, might be 40+. I'm going to offer you guys something, chance to win some money. Chance to win $25. If you predict the exact score and comment it in the video below, you'll have a chance to win $25. We'll Venmo you $25. Here's the catch, though. Got to subscribe to us here at Chat Sports, youtube.com/chatsportstv. If you subscribe, give us the exact score and tell us who's going to win. Obviously, it's going to be Alabama. Then we will Venmo you $25 only to the first person who does so. So you got to subscribe and interact very, very quickly. But predict the score, predict the winner, and you can have a chance to win $25 from us here at Chat Sports. Okay, last item here. Braden Davis, 2022 quarterback, is visiting next month. Can't get a fast enough start on recruiting, just now starting his sophomore year. He's going to come in for a visit for the Tennessee game against the Volunteers. Interesting side note here, he's the son of former Volunteer quarterback Antone Davis, number 5 dual threat quarterback in the 2022 class. Looks like he's going to be a 4-star. There's not enough information out there yet because he's only a sophomore, but he's in that 4-star range. Has already received an offer from Alabama. Interesting enough, despite being Antone Davis's son, he does not have an offer from Tennessee. If I were them, I would make sure that changes. And Alabama, there's a reason they're trying to get a head start on quarterbacks, because where are the commits? I mentioned earlier, Bryce Young, they're trying to flip him for 2020. Don't have a quarterback in this upcoming class. Drake May, a 5-star quarterback in 2021. They've got him committed, so they feel good about that. But no one yet for 2022. So hopefully they can get a couple of these quarterbacks locked down. Hopefully Braden Davis becomes an option for Alabama. Hopefully Bryce Young can get into Alabama's class for 2020. Hopefully they can sway him from USC. Here are Davis's other offers. The 2022 dual threat quarterback, Georgia Tech, North Carolina State, Penn State, Temple, and Texas A&M. Of course, Alabama being the 6th school to offer him. So Braden Davis, latest news there that Alabama has offered, and he is going to visit the Crimson Tide when they play Tennessee later next month.